Beloved chosen one, you feel it in your spirit because something around you has shifted. And this message meets you at a moment when heaven refuses to let you remain unaware. You are not imagining the heaviness, the strange pressure, the sudden fatigue, the silent resistance that seems to rise whenever you try to move forward. There is a reason your peace has been interrupted. There is a reason your discernment has become sharper. There is a reason this warning is reaching you now. This is not random emotion, and it is not empty fear. This is a spiritual alert. You are standing closer to a turning point than you realize, and what looks like confusion around you is actually exposure. What has been hidden is being brought into the light so you will not walk blindly into a trap designed to drain your strength, delay your assignment, and make you doubt the hand of God over your life. You have been marked by purpose, and because of that, resistance has also marked your path. The danger is not always loud. Sometimes it comes through delay, sometimes through compromise, sometimes through relationships that smile in your face while quietly pulling you away from your calling. Sometimes it comes through exhaustion so deep that you begin to think surrender is easier than obedience. But heaven would not interrupt your day for something small. God is showing you that this is the hour to become watchful again. Your spirit cannot afford to sleep while your destiny is being contested. You cannot call everything ordinary when your soul has already sensed that something is off. The pressure you have been under is not proof that God has abandoned you. It is proof that your life carries weight in the unseen realm. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Hold that word tightly, because this is where the warning and the promise meet. You are not being alerted so you can panic. You are being alerted so you can position yourself under divine protection. The enemy wants you rushed, distracted, offended, emotionally reactive, and spiritually numb. God wants you still clear, discerning, and ready. That is why this moment matters. That is why you must not ignore the unease that keeps returning. Heaven is not increasing your sensitivity to torment you. Heaven is increasing your sensitivity to preserve you. You are being given mercy before impact, insight before collapse, and light before the road narrows. Receive this as your confirmation that God is already moving ahead of the danger. And before you go any further, like this message, share it with someone who needs this warning. Subscribe if you are standing for what God is doing in your life. And comment 71 below as your sign that you choose discernment over delay. What you are facing is deeper than a bad season. Because the battle around you is not only about comfort, money, timing, or people turning against you. The real conflict is about your destiny. There has been an invisible contest over your focus, your confidence, your identity, and your willingness to keep walking in the direction God marked out for you long before others understood who you were. That is why so many attacks have come in subtle forms. Not every weapon arrives as open destruction. Some weapons arrive as discouragement that lingers for weeks. Some arrive as voices that make you question what God already showed you. Some arrive as repeated disappointments that tempt you to settle for survival when heaven called you to movement, authority, and spiritual clarity. You have wondered why the pressure grows stronger whenever you begin to rebuild your discipline, renew your prayer life, or separate yourself from what weakens your spirit. The answer is plain. Darkness resists what threatens its hold. The moment you begin to awaken, the battle becomes more visible. The moment you stop agreeing with confusion, confusion starts fighting harder to remain. This is why certain doors closed with unusual violence. This is why certain connections became unstable the minute you started choosing truth over approval. This is why your path has felt opposed at the very points where your obedience would have produced the greatest breakthrough. The resistance is revealing the value of what you carry. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. For we are not ignorant of his devices. That word matters now because you are not being called to fear the attack. You are being called to recognize it. Once you discern the pattern, you stop blaming yourself for every storm. You stop naming spiritual resistance as personal failure. You stop interpreting every delay as abandonment. You begin to see that much of what tried to exhaust you was designed to misdirect you. The enemy did not only want your energy, he wanted your agreement. He wanted you to say, nothing is changing, nothing is working, nothing is worth it. But heaven has kept your inner witness alive, even in the middle of pressure. God has preserved your ability to sense that there is more ahead than what has tried to bury you. So the battle is real, but it is also revealing. It exposes what cannot go with you. It uncovers where your gates were open. It shows you where your soul needs strengthening and where your spirit must become less negotiable. You are learning that chosen lives are not preserved by accident. They are preserved through discernment, separation, endurance, and obedience. What pressed against you was never proof that your calling was false. It was proof that your calling was seen. Now the warning becomes movement. Because God does not uncover danger merely to leave you staring at it. He reveals, then he directs, he exposes, then he instructs. What begins as an unsettling awareness now becomes a rescue pattern, and that pattern depends on your response. This is the hour to move with holy urgency, not panic, because panic scatters the mind while urgency sharpens obedience. God is showing you that delay has become costly. The habits you plan to break later must be broken now. The voice you kept ignoring must be answered now. The boundary you knew you needed must be established now. The distraction that kept stealing your focus must lose access now. Divine help is present, but it meets you in motion. You are not waiting for a random miracle to fall from the sky, while everything around you remains unchanged. You are being called into alignment with a plan already prepared for your protection. That plan may require separation from what felt familiar. It may require silence where you once over-explained yourself. It may require fasting from noise, stepping back from draining conversations, and refusing invitations that look harmless but carry spiritual fog. God's rescue is often practical before it becomes visible. He will tell you to leave, to stop, to rest, to pray, to discern, to close the gate, to release the weight, to trust the redirection. The chosen one survives not by stubbornness, but by obedience at the right moment, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 21, verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. This is your confirmation that escape is part of the plan of God. Preservation is not weakness. Withdrawal from what threatens your spirit is not failure. Walking away from what would wound your assignment is not cowardice. It is wisdom. Heaven is not asking you to prove your strength by remaining exposed. Heaven is asking you to prove your faith by obeying quickly. The rescue may not look dramatic at first. It may look like restraint. It may look like discernment. It may look like one decision made in private that prevents months of pain in public. But that is how divine protection often works. God shifts the path before the collapse appears. And only later do you realize what you were spared. Comment "I move now" as your act of agreement. because those words matter when you are choosing obedience over hesitation. And if this message is strengthening you in a real way, you can also support this work through a donation, helping this kind of spiritual encouragement keep reaching the people who need it right on time. And this is where the matter becomes even more serious, because once God has warned you, exposed the pattern, and shown you the path of escape, hesitation is no longer a small thing. Delay begins to carry consequence. When light has come, you cannot safely pretend you are still in darkness. When your spirit has been alerted, you cannot keep calling the danger harmless. The cost of ignoring divine instruction is not always immediate ruin, but gradual dullness. First, conviction grows quieter. Then urgency fades, then compromise starts looking reasonable. What once disturbed your spirit begins to feel normal, and what once felt holy begins to feel optional. That is how many people lose ground, not in one dramatic fall, but in a slow surrender of sensitivity. You must understand this clearly. Rebellion rarely introduces itself with a loud announcement. Most of the time, it enters dressed as postponement. It says you will obey later, pray later, leave later, forgive later, change later, draw the line later. But later is often the language of spiritual theft. What should have been broken today becomes stronger tomorrow. What should have been confronted in wisdom grows roots in silence. What should have ended quickly begins to shape your atmosphere, your decisions, your emotions, and even your sense of identity. The danger of delay is that it trains the soul to live beneath its own warnings. After a while, a person can sit inside what once alarmed them and no longer tremble. That is not peace. That is desensitization. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. Stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. Notice that the promise of rest is tied to walking in the right path, not merely admiring it, discussing it, or intending to return to it one day. Rest does not come from partial obedience. Clarity does not come from flirting with compromise while asking God for confirmation. There are moments when heaven becomes very direct because mercy is still active. This is one of those moments. God is not shaming you. He is summoning you. He is letting the seriousness of the hour become plain so you can respond while the door of correction is still open. The warning itself is evidence of love, so do not misread the weight of this section as condemnation. Read it as rescue spoken with urgency. God is showing you what hesitation can cost because He intends to keep you from paying that price. He is drawing a line before you drift farther. He is interrupting the pattern before it hardens into bondage. The chosen one must learn that discernment without action becomes torment. But discernment joined with obedience becomes deliverance. What you do after this warning will shape more than a day or a mood. It will shape the condition of your spirit and the direction of your path. And now you reach the place where warning turns into standing. Because God never exposes danger just to leave you trembling at the edge of fear. He brings you through exposure so you can enter covering. He brings you through pressure so you can recognize the strength that has been forming in you all along. What tried to shake you has not destroyed you. What tried to silence you has not erased your voice. What tried to scatter your focus has not canceled the assignment written over your life. You are still here, still hearing, still discerning, still being summoned forward by the hand of God. That means the plan against you did not win. It pressed hard, but it did not prevail. It circled near, but it did not possess your future. Heaven has kept watch over your path even in moments when you did not understand how close the danger truly was. Now you begin to see that protection is not passive. Divine covering does not mean you become careless. It means you become anchored. Your spirit grows steadier. Your decisions grow cleaner. Your yes becomes holier, and your no becomes stronger. You stop apologizing for the boundaries that preserve your peace. You stop reopening doors God already helped you close. You stop begging for access to places that were never safe for your purpose. This is how the chosen one rises, not through noise but through alignment, not through performance, but through faithfulness, not through chasing every open road, but through walking the one God has marked with peace, clarity, and spiritual authority. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. And the Lord, He it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Receive that deeply. God goes before you, that means the path ahead is not abandoned territory. The next season is not a blind fall. The future is not guarded by chance. The same God who warned you is the God who walks ahead of you. The same God who uncovered the threat is the God who prepares the escape, strengthens your spirit, and establishes your footing. You are not merely surviving an attack. You are being trained to walk with sharper discernment, deeper trust, and greater endurance than before. What once frightened you will no longer control you. What once confused you will begin to make sense under the light of God's wisdom. And what once looked like the end will be revealed as the place where your protection became visible. Comment 88 below as your sign that you receive God's covering and choose to move forward under His direction, not under fear, as this message settles over your spirit. Do not let it fade like rain on stone. Let it become a lantern you carry into the night. If these words have spoken to you, let your like be a quiet flame lifted toward heaven. Let your share be like opening a window in a dark room so another weary soul can breathe again. Let your comment become a footprint in sacred dust, a sign that your heart stood here and received this word. If you choose to subscribe, let it be like keeping your gate unlatched for the next whisper God sends at the appointed hour. And if you feel moved to donate, let it be like placing oil in a vessel so the light does not go out for those still searching in the valley. None of this is pressure. It is simply the grace of choosing to keep the fire alive together.